Hello everyone, Parmesan here, bringing you guys another video. Quick note on the gameplay: if you guys are watching this, you will probably get very frustrated like I did playing it. I started off extremely well, as you can see, but everybody just started knifing for some reason. I think they were just partied up, just kind of running around trolling. Obviously, that's what I'm going to take away from this. And it got to the point where I was just ready to quit, but I didn't, obviously, and I ended up winning. But it gets frustrating like in the middle of the game. So I hope you guys kind of look past that, because I do win, and I'm stuck on a few guns a lot, but I do get a lot of good kills. So I hope you guys stick around and watch the gameplay and tell me what you guys think about trolls, because I really I just can't stand when people just join a game for the sole purpose of taking everybody off in it, and just for the sole purpose of just ruining everybody's fun. And it's like a game of like the gun game, where it's not meant to be taken like extremely serious at all, and then you just have people running around knifing just to make people's days a lot worse. So just leave your thoughts down below on that, unless you get into the topic, where you can also leave your comments down below as well. And as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, it's about the third-person Call of Duty that we're probably never going to see. Like, that game is probably not going to see the light of day. And it's kind of interesting because, as most of you guys might know, or like this is probably going to be completely new news to some people, Sledgehammer Games actually worked on the Dead Space series. And before they were making Advanced Warfare, they were like supposed to be developing some sort of third-person Call of Duty, and they said it would have some Dead Space-esque feeling to it, like that eerie, like everybody's gonna die feeling, and kind of like that creepy. I don't even know how to describe Dead Space, but Dead Space is a scary game, and it's a very violent series. And there was supposed to be a Call of Duty set in Vietnam, like kind of based around that. And I just think it would have been cool to have, but I don't think it would have been what the series needed at that point in time, because a lot of people didn't really give MW3 positive feedback. And if Sledgehammer Games would have like stepped up out of nowhere, I mean, obviously they helped develop MW3, I think people would have just been kind of confused, like a whole new company that makes their first Call of Duty by themselves, like they didn't co-develop or anything, and it's a third-person Call of Duty set in Vietnam. I mean, the setting's cool, the concept of the game sounds really cool, but I don't think that's what Call of Duty needed in that point in time, and I'm not necessarily sure if it would have done good or bad. I mean, obviously, since it has the Call of Duty name on it, a lot of people are going to buy it, me being one of them, and I don't think that would have been enough to cut it for that. Just for the simple fact that a lot of people wanted Treyarch's Call of Duty, and if you have some random company, I mean, I know they're not really that random. I mean, if you do research on them, they've worked on a lot of really good projects, but for like them making their own standalone Call of Duty, they're a random team. Like the Activision got them and everything and said, okay, you're going to make a Call of Duty, because they showed them like a little gameplay preview of the third-person Call of Duty, and I guess it made the cut, obviously, because Activision didn't turn it down. But I don't think that's what people would have wanted, and I'm not sure if that is necessarily a good or bad thing. I mean, I would definitely like to see a third-person Call of Duty, but I probably wouldn't even consider it a Call of Duty, because the first-person aspect of Call of Duty is what makes it Call of Duty. And like, I know you can say that about a lot of things, but like Call of Duty is a really good FPS, and I think if you just take that completely away and make it third person, it just becomes another war game in the third person point of view. Not really Call of Duty. I mean, I would be fine if some random company made a third person shooter based in the Vietnam era, but it's not Call of Duty if it's third person. And I think a lot of people might agree with me on that, and a lot of people might disagree with me on that. But that'd be like taking Halo or like a Gears of War and making Halo third person, or making Gears of War first person, or like an Uncharted, turning that into like a first person. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys see what I mean, but that just what, like, how the games are played is how the developers like set it out to be since the beginning. And if Call of Duty was supposed to be a third-person shooter, it would have been a third-person shooter since day one, is what I was trying to like make my point on. And although I think it would have been fun, I mean, Sledgehammer Games is one of those companies that, like, they're well respected and they do a lot of really good work. So I don't think they would have made a bad game, but for a Call of Duty standard game, I just think a third person one isn't really what we need. And like in the MW2 mode, I mean, it was fun to play in third person, don't get me wrong, but that's not something I look forward to every day. I mean, if there was an option in the campaign to play in third person or first person, like 99% of the people would just play it in first person because they're used to it. Even if it had like cover to cover base modes, kind of like Gears of War, it would have just been people would have been like, no, I just, why would I go third person? I'm used to the first person layout. And like, I'm not sure if you guys get what I'm trying to say here, but it just kind of comes down to what we're used to. And sure, if Call of Duty started out as a third person shooter and then we got word that Sledgehammer Games was making a first person Call of Duty, people would look at it like that was odd. And I think I'm just so used to Call of Duty being first person that that's just my opinion, like, right away. And I just think a lot of people are probably going to feel that way. And would I like to see it? Yeah, I would have loved to see that game, and I probably would have played it, but it wouldn't have been my favorite, but like amongst my favorites of Call of Duties. And I think I can say that almost for a fact, but obviously I can't say it for a fact because we didn't get it. So let me know if you guys would have liked it. Do you guys think you would have considered it as a Call of Duty or not? But I just want to know. I'm really interested in that. And like, as always, if you're new, subscribe. If you like the content, please like it. And if you like have any comments, leave it down below. And as always, have a really nice day and peace.